Well, these uncharted waters, as they're being described, are already having effect. Europe's financial markets were jolted today by the imposition of those capital controls in Greece. Stocks in France, Germany, Spain, other European countries too, all hit hard during initial trading as Greece heads closer maybe to that euro exit door. The euro also lost value on global markets as investors opted to put their money in safer currencies. Let's bring him out, Keiser, host of the Keiser Report, get his thoughts on it. Is it time to run for cover in Europe, or is a Grexit not going to be so horrendous? Where's it going to go and what's happening?
Hi, Kevin. Nice to speak with you again. I've been watching the stock price of Deutsche Bank today, Germany's largest bank, one of the largest banks in the world, certainly with the biggest derivatives book in the world. They are the counterparty to the Greek debt, and their stock got hammered. And Deutsche Bank could go the way of Lehman Brothers or Bear Stearns, which would set off a global liquidity crisis that would make 2008 look tame by comparison. Look, the thing about Greece is that the Syriza government has said all along they have no money and we're not going to pay this debt. And now Jean-Claude Juncker has finally woken up to that fact, that what he's been told now for a year. And remember, Jean-Claude Juncker is the guy who said not too long ago, when the going gets tough, you must lie. So anything that comes out of his mouth, we have to assume he's lying, because certainly the going has started to get tough.
Yeah. How tough is it going to get? What's actually going to happen here, do you think? Your best guess?
Well, as I've been saying all along, Greece should Grexit, and now looks like they will Grexit, which is fantastic for Greece. They get a chance to restart their economy. It's terrible for their counterparties. It's terrible for the Eurozone. And, of course, Italy and Spain are probably the next countries to come under the same kind of stress that we're seeing in Greece right now.
This upcoming referendum in Greece, I mean, what's that about, end of the day, really?
Well, it's about a democratic process. The current
what are they voting over? They haven't got much choice, have they?
Democracy, and they're giving their population a chance to participate in their own future and their own sovereignty. I know for people in Britain or people in America, this is an alien concept. They've no longer ascribed to democracy and democratic values for generations. But believe it or not, there is a thing called democracy. It's alive and well in Greece, and we're seeing it played out in Greece, where, incidentally, it was created to begin with.
Yeah. If Greece does bail out, what are the ramifications going to be? OK, it'll find its feet. We heard someone on earlier on saying in 3 months, people will be saying, well, who cares that Greece went bankrupt at the end of the day? What are the knock-on effects? I mean, you said just now it could be horrendous. That's a could be. What's the likely scenario going to play out here?
Well, for Greece, like historically, when countries have defaulted, they have been able to return to the credit markets with no problem. We just saw this in Iceland. Iceland got rid of their bankster problem, and now they're raising money in the global finance market again, much stronger.
Is it like going bankrupt? You can just walk free from all your debts, or are the Greek government going to be pursued in future by the rest of Europe?
No, they can be pursued all they want, but it's a global economy. It's global competition. Greece has the right to compete in a global competition and not be a vassal state and not have a colonization of their economy by Germany, the ECB, and the IMF, and the Troika. They have the right to be a free people. The Troika, unfortunately, overplayed their hand. Now they must suffer the consequences. Greece will be fine, but I can't say the same about the Eurozone. I think now they've lit a fuse to total destruction of the euro, and the banks, in particular Deutsche Bank, is the most exposed, Kevin. This is a $100 trillion derivatives book that could go the way of Lehman Brothers. That's an enormous shellacking to the global economy, and I think now we've got to raise the odds of this happening above 50%.
Final one, a recent poll found apparently 57% of Greeks apparently would accept the creditors' terms. Doesn't the Syriza government risk undermining itself by holding this referendum, then?
Well, the creditors' terms are, as, again, if you listen to Jean-Claude Juncker, he's not a credible guy to have these negotiations. He's a serial liar. Nobody takes the utterings of this maniac seriously. He's a fraud. So I understand that Greeks would love to be in the euro, but they can't also have their sovereignty and their dignity. They must choose between dignity and sovereignty versus being in the euro. You can't have both.
Guess you won't be sobbing if you're off his Christmas card list after this chat then. Max Keiser, thank you very much. Nice to see you. Max Keiser, of course, host of the Keiser Report on this channel.